motivation behind this letter that you wrote where, Judy, you guys said that the NFL should keep the noise down at the stadiums?
Well, when we said the NFL, we wanted to put a few suggestions in for how this might be remedied if people thought it should be remedied, and that was just one possible suggestion. I think there's lots of ways it could be done if people thought it was important.
Okay, and Rich, what were some of the things that you thought would be good rule changes?
Well, measuring the decibels, of course, is something that can be done and is done. And, in fact, I understand that there is a rule that the decibel level is supposed to be at a certain one and not higher. I mean, it's really important for quarterbacks to be able to get their signals out to everybody. And it needs to be a level playing field where both sides get the information just as easily. And it certainly doesn't happen if the sound is too high.
Yeah, and so what you suggested in the letter is if the fan noise is greater than a specified decibel level, and that happens in more than 3 games, the offending team should get no more home games the rest of the season, including playoffs.
Yeah, that's pretty drastic. I understand. I think the main thing is that the fans be told by the team and by the Seattle people. So it's a question of the people knowing that it's really important that they keep that level down so it is even on both sides. And if they're told that, I believe, enough times that there could be some repercussion, then it's probably going to be better.
So Judy, you guys must have been getting really angry as you were watching this game Sunday night.
We were, as I say, we were upset watching the game. We looked at our team and we realized that when Kaepernick was throwing interceptions, it looked to us like some of the routes that the guys ran were not the routes that one would have expected them to run. And we thought, oh my gosh, they may have not gotten the signal and they may be confused about the routes. And we thought that sports is important to Americans, and we have connections to Seattle. Our daughter used to live in Seattle, and we love Pete Carroll. You guys are lucky to have him. You have a great team.
Yeah.
Right. So we thought that since sports is so important, that you really should level the playing field. Now, I think that if it's interesting that the fans are just making a great deal of noise when the other team has the ball.
Well, sure, they're trying to.
For their own team. Are they maybe worried that might cause their own team? They want their own team to get the signals out properly.
Well, but no, it's very effective, and yeah, the fans here take great pride in being the loud. I mean, it's not only the loudest stadium in the NFL, but Sunday night it was the loudest stadium in the world. They set an all-time record.
And what are they proud of?
They're proud of the home field advantage of contributing to. The Seahawks haven't lost at home since December of 2011, and that was to your 49ers back then. But they're proud of that.
Home field advantage is a good thing everywhere, and it is. But I believe it doesn't have to be with noise. It can be just with the support for the team. And, of course, every stadium has a certain noise level that people have. But the advantage with that noise level, we feel is somewhat unfair.
So, but why don't the 49er fans just rise to the occasion and exert the same amount of noise and provide the same home field advantage for your team?
Because we think it's dirty play. We think that what you really want your team to do is to be a top-notch, the best team. You don't want the play or the outcome of a game to be distorted by an outside force like extra fan noise. If it's really just enthusiasm, right? Teams are really enthusiastic. Why aren't you yelling at the same decibel level when you guys have possession?
Well, because again, they do want to influence the game. The fans here do want to be a negative for the opposing team.
Well, do you think it's a good idea for there to be a 12th man on the field like that? The only team that does it.
Yes.
Yes.
Why do you suppose that is? Maybe other people feel like, let's just see a game. Let's see a game on its merits.
No,
how good the teams are.
I do think it's a very good idea. I think it's a very powerful. I think the Seahawks have the biggest home field advantage in all of pro sports because of that, and I think that's pretty cool.
Well, I hear what you're saying. Being devil's advocate, that's true. But it doesn't allow a team to show their total merit when you take away their signals. It really doesn't. And I think there's a certain unfairness to that really should be looked at.
But
one of the thoughts we had was that we were going to send the same letter
yes.
every city and the newspapers in every city in our league, every city where the Seahawks play, and consider the possibility of a petition to the NFL to see if other fans feel disturbed by the unfair advantage that Seattle seems to have when you're at home, and maybe a petition that showed broad-based fan support for fairness on the field. Well, I think we'll call it. I think that may be a productive thing, just to gauge widespread fan support, because the negatives that we're hearing come from Seattle, and the positives we're hearing come from other fans in other cities, as well as San Francisco.
When we say unfair,
right,
we're really talking about it's a game. Football is a game where the skills on the field are so important and so unique. I mean, people appreciate it everywhere, just like the Seattle fans appreciate it.
Let me ask both of you, with all due respect, are you at all concerned that this sounds like just sour grapes because the Seahawks put such a decisive whooping on the 49ers on Sunday?
I don't think it is sour grapes at all. I think what we're saying is you put a whooping on the field because you had an unfair advantage. If you couldn't hear your signals and we could hear ours, you would have lost and we would have won. We're a great team. Seattle's a great team. If you can't hear your signals, you can't play the game.
But if you saw the Niners game I'm sure you saw the one with Green Bay, you would see the difference.
Yeah, where was that game played?
It was played here.
Yeah.
There was no sound advantage for
you guys had a home field advantage, and you beat Green Bay, and then you came up here, and the Seahawks had a home field advantage, and the Seahawks beat you.
But we didn't have a sound advantage.
Right. That it wasn't just home field advantage, and I think you know that. Home field advantage is a lot of things.
Well, no, but I mean,
the only place where it includes
there's nothing illegal. No, wait, this is getting kind of silly now. There's nothing illegal about what the Seattle fans do.
Maybe that's going to change now.
Because of your letter?
I'll do that, because maybe it should be. As you know, there's already rules on the books.
No, actually, there used to be, but the NFL has certainly relaxed the noise restrictions against the fans.
Relax.
You've all gotten the gist of this. And Paul, you were telling me right before the show that you agree 100% with these 49er fans?
Yes, I completely agree. So let me get this right. The head coach or the offensive coordinator has direct contact with the quarterback through his helmet, so he can hear all those. They now practice pretty much everything without any verbal. It's all hand signals. Oregon, runs an offense where they don't even huddle. I think that the offense has, kind of figured it out. What we did find out is that Kaepernick is still a very talented.
It's Kaepernick.
Excuse me. Kaepernick is a very talented, but still essentially a rookie quarterback who, wet his pants. He couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it.